And good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Dwain Woode. I am so excited to be with you. Welcome back to another one of our pop-ups. And here I am, another week, another day actually, into our fast. And we are right now, this is, guess what? It's 48 hours into this week's fast. Thank you for coming through, whatever platform you're joining us from, whatever city, whatever town, and of course, whatever country you're joining us from. I am so glad and excited that you are here hanging out with us in this space. And I always say, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. Remember, you don't need superhuman strength. What you need is a strategy you can trust, a plan you can follow, and the determination and the support to show up every single time. And that's what we're doing right here as we continue in this week's fast. So if you're fasting at all this week, I just want you to put me, right? So whether you finished fasting, whether you started the fast yesterday or ended the fast yesterday, whether you're fasting right now or going to be fasting through the rest of the week, I want you to just put me in the comments, okay? That's the first thing. If you are ending your fast today, I want you to put today in the comments because I want to make sure that we give you a special shout out. So congratulations for all of you who are taking charge of your health. You've made a decision that you're going to do what you need to do to be healthy, and fasting, an amazing way to do that. If you've been with us over the course of the last 48 hours now, you heard us talking yesterday about the fact that fasting is a fascinating way to reset the body, to get the system ready and primed to do the things that we wanted to do. Just today, I received an email, and it was from someone on social media. They were talking about the GLP-1 receptor agonists. Remember, those are those medications that are out there right now that people are using for weight management. Okay, so they were originally diabetes medications, but we found that they have an amazing way to help people suppress their appetite. And so the question that they asked me in the email was, is it beneficial to do a GLP-1 receptor agonist on top of our plan to fast? You got the question? So we've got the GLP-1 receptor agonists that are out there. We've got fasting, and so the question was, hey, is it beneficial to do both? Now we're going to come and answer that here in a quick minute, but before we do that, make sure that if you've not done so yet, that you will go back and you watch, first of all, our Foundations episode that came out on Wednesday. So it came out yesterday, and this week, coming up, we won't have our Dwain Woode MD live, but make sure you get out there and make sure you watch that, okay? So that's the one for this week. But going back to fasting, last week we put out the Foundations episode talking about fasting, why fasting works and then stops working or plateaus. And then on our flagship show this past Monday, we did the lab portion of that where we went in and we say, how does this show up? What does it look like on a regular basis? What does it look like for me on Monday morning or on Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday, whatever day it is while I'm fasting? And I am expecting to see benefits, but I'm not seeing those benefits. What does that look like? So that was an amazing one for us to look at as we talk about fasting, okay? So why fasting starts working and then somehow it seems to plateau or stop. And then the flagship show where we actually dove into that and said, hey, now let's put a microscope on this and let's see what does this look like for me on a regular basis, okay? All right, so let's go back and let's talk a little bit about GLP-1 receptor agonists. And so for everyone to understand, there are 4 basic things that GLP-1 receptor agonists do. Now, there are lots of other things. This was when they first came out, when we were talking to patients about managing diabetes, this is what we said. Number 1, it slows the GI tract, so people feel fuller longer. Number 2, it decreases the amount of sugar that the liver puts out, lower blood sugar. Number 3, it helps your pancreas produce more insulin if it can, okay, decrease blood sugar. And number 4, it helps your muscles to use insulin more effectively so that your body doesn't have to generate as much. So those are the 4 main things that it does. Now, as we were treating patients with diabetes with those medications, what we found, the research showed that people were actually beginning to lose weight. Now, the original ones that came out, we didn't have that much weight loss, by the way. Right? So the weight loss was minuscule. In fact, there are still some of those medications that are on the market that we're using to treat blood sugars that people are on. And when we say to them, oh, this is the same thing that's in this other product, they're like, well, it's not working because it did not work that way. And so they've reformulated them, increased the doses in some cases, and reconfigured a couple of them. And so we have the weight management component that actually is beneficial now. Now, they're still the ones that we're using for diabetes. There's still diabetes medications that have a side effect of weight loss. Okay, that's number one. Well, what happened is once the manufacturers saw that, hey, these people are getting weight loss, so they went and they took those same products. Well, come on, see here, his marketing at its best, right? This is consumerism. So they took the same products, they repackaged them, resubmitted them, and got an indication now for weight management. So there's those same products, different packages. I can't use the ones that are marketed for diabetes to treat weight, and I can't use the ones that are marketed for weight to treat diabetes, but it's the same product. Okay, now if you're out there, you're one of the pharmaceutical companies, and you're like, oh, it's not the same product, come show us that it's not the same product, right? So same product that's being marketed in two separate places, okay? So everybody got that so far? Well, the way that these things help with diabetes, with weight, we're going to weight right now. The way they help with weight is that they help to suppress the appetite. Now, there are some other things that we found that they do. We're not going to get into all the details of that, but essentially they help people suppress the appetite. That is, it makes you feel fuller longer, right? And it takes the edge off of the craving. Now, let me ask this question, right? So step away from those for a minute. Have you ever eaten when you weren't hungry? I know I have. And I hear that all the time. People say, well, I'm not hungry. I wasn't hungry, but I ate. Why did I eat? I ate because my friends came over and they were going to have something to eat, so I ate. I ate because I was up late at night watching TV by myself. I was bored. I was lonely. I ate because I was just so frustrated. I just had an argument with somebody, and this comforted me. I ate because it reminded me of the family getting together, and now, I'm off somewhere in one state and they're somewhere else, and we couldn't get together, and so this just brought back the memories. Now, notice what I'm describing. These are reasons why people eat even though they're not hungry. Now, what does that have to do with the GLP-1s? Because it's possible for you to be on the maximum dose of a GLP-1 and still not lose weight. Why? Because you can still eat even though the medication is suppressing the appetite. Oh, come on. Did you guys hear what I just said? So if you're on a GLP-1, you can still eat. It doesn't stop you from eating. It suppresses the appetite. But I can make a personal choice based on the things that are around me to eat, despite the fact that I'm not hungry. The thing is telling me I'm not hungry. My appetite is suppressed. And so back to the original question is, should I use or can I use a GLP-1 with fasting? And the answer is that they're not mutually exclusive. The GLP-1 helps to suppress the appetite, and people can still eat. But fasting also allows you the possibility, because we're not taking anything in during that time. So pairing them together actually is a great way of dealing with not just weight, which is what we're talking about right now, but also dealing with blood sugars. Now, in this conversation, I'm not talking about whether the GLP-1s are good or people should be on them, or right. So we use them in our practice. That's a whole different conversation that we can have. In fact, I saw that on, where did I see that? On one of the social media platforms, someone wrote an article or a discussion on the side effects of GLP-1s, and there are side effects, by the way. Right? So no medication, by the way, that you will ever take can be marketed to you and says there's absolutely no side effects. that doesn't exist. There are side effects. The question, and we're not talking about the question about whether people should be on them. This is a question of, hey, do they work? And the answer is yes, they do work. And can we use them in combination with other things? And the answer to that is yes. Okay. All right. Let me go over here, and I want to. Let's see, where are we? Just want to make sure that I see some of our community members out there. Just wanted to give a quick shout out. And as you know, I got to look at my thing over here so I can see. Okay, so here we are. So Jennifer, what's up? Jennifer popped in. She was the first one. She says, howdy all. What's going on? Let me make that a little bigger. Let's move that up a little bit, Jennifer. And I think that's as big as I can get it right now, but that's okay. You guys can see her comments. And then let's see. So here's Steve. What's going on, Steve? Glad that you're coming through. And then Jennifer says, wonderful. What time zone is this? This is actually, so there were, we actually came on just a tad behind the schedule. And then, so Jennifer says, I'm fast. Let me make sure I put that up. Okay. I'm trying to read from way over there, by the way, guys. Jennifer says, fasted 33 hours earlier this week. Hey, congratulations, Jennifer. And for all of those of you who are fasting. Hello, Dr. Wood, Jennifer, Steve, and LLG. Hey, Cornelia, thank you for coming through. And then Jennifer saying hello to Cornelia. All right, so I wanted to answer that particular question as we are in the fasting space, because it's a question that comes up, and we probably, I shouldn't say we need to do more of those types of discussions, not just here. And you know, we are on a path, a plan. All these things come in, and those are actually real life conversations that people are having. People are having all around the place. So I'm just so excited that I got a chance to come in. So if you are fasting at all this week, and so Jennifer put me, and if you are ending your fast today, go ahead and put today. We are 48 hours into this week's fast, and so excited that we get a chance to hang out and be with you. I'm always excited when I'm in this space because I get to see the wonderful benefits that you guys are getting in your lives. Congratulations to all of you. As a matter of fact, all the people that you just saw me put up on the screen are all having great success in their health. Now, today we talked about weight. We talked a little bit about blood sugar, but we talked about weight, GLPs, and so forth. But remember, fasting is a great way to right the metabolism, get the metabolism going in the right direction. So that's why we fast. Not just for weight, not just for blood sugar, but all the things along that metabolic spectrum, and you can have the same benefit as well. If you're interested in fasting, if you're interested in finding out how to fast successfully, if you've been fasting and you want to make sure that you're continuing to do that, you want to get just more information, you can go to dwainwoodmd.com/fasting, dwainwoodmd.com/fasting. And if you are interested in a personal walk along your health journey, right? You want to have me kind of in your ear on a weekly basis, you can go to our website, dwainwoodmd.com, and instead of putting fasting, you want to put briefs, B-R-I-E-F-S, B-R-I-E-F-S. I think it's S, just B-R-I-E-F. Or you can go to woodlifedesign.com, Wood, W-O-O-D-E, life, design, all one word, .com. And that will sign you up for our weekly health nugget that comes directly to your inbox, and so you can begin applying that. Okay? Well, thank you for coming through, y'all. Remember, on Monday, we will not have our Dwain Woode MD Live. Our pop-up will be a little different because our schedule is going to be different, and I'm not sure what the internet is going to be like where I am. But you may see me pop up at some point, but we'll let you know that. So next week, we're going to be out of pocket. So no live on Monday. Our pop-ups for fasting will be a little different. Our Foundations episode will still come out, just like we did one this week. Make sure you watch that. One will come out next week, and we'll tie those up when we come back. So 2 Mondays from now, we'll have our next live session. Video from the vault will still show 9 o'clock Saturday night. And then This Week in Review, to review what we've done this week, will show on Sunday morning. So make sure you join that. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for being with us. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted. You don't need superhuman strength. What you need is a strategy you can trust, a plan you can follow, and the support and determination to keep showing up intentionally and consistently every single time. All right, everybody, have a great one. We'll see you later.